Welcome back to The Final Cry. Tonight's video is not about horror movies, it's not about urban legends, and it's not fiction. This is about real people who went live and never logged off. From dangerous dares pushed by viewers, to violent attacks unfolding in real time, to live streams that turned into digital crime scenes watched by thousands. These are the worst streamer deaths ever recorded. If you're new here, this channel documents the darkest true stories ever captured on camera. If you find this video informative, disturbing, or eye-opening, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. Now, dim the lights, put your phone down, and remember, once something goes live, the world never forgets. Case 1. Jean Pormanov, Death by Audience. What if your viewers weren't just watching you, but slowly killing you, one donation at a time? In early 2025, French streamer Raphael Gravin, known online as Jean Pormanov, had built a reputation for pushing limits. His Kick livestreams weren't about gaming or conversation. They were endurance tests. Long, humiliating, self-destructive broadcasts designed to keep viewers watching for hours, sometimes days. The longer he stayed live, the more money poured in. Viewers dared him to stay awake, to degrade himself, to submit to increasingly dangerous challenges. And the platform didn't stop it. Over time, his streams became less entertainment and more spectacle, a human being unraveling in real time. Friends later claimed Raphael was exhausted, mentally broken, and under immense financial pressure to keep streaming because his income depended entirely on viewer engagement. Then, during one marathon livestream, things went wrong. Raphael collapsed on camera. At first, chat thought it was part of the act. People laughed. Donations kept coming. Minutes passed, then longer. Eventually, emergency services were called, but by the time help arrived, he was dead. His death sent shockwaves across France. Investigators launched inquiries not just into the cause of death, but into platform responsibility and viewer accountability. Could encouraging dangerous behavior for money be considered indirect harm? For the first time, European regulators openly questioned whether livestream platforms were enabling slow, monetized self-destruction. But Jean died from exhaustion and pressure. The next streamer didn't collapse quietly. She was murdered, live, while her viewers watched helplessly. Case 2. Valeria Marquez, shot on stream. Imagine chatting with your favorite creator and suddenly realizing you're watching a murder unfold in real time. In 2025, Mexican beauty influencer Valeria Marquez went live on TikTok from her home in Zapopan, Jalisco. The stream was casual, calm, routine. She talked to her audience the way she always did, smiling, relaxed, completely unaware that someone was already on the way to kill her. Midstream, a man approached her door. Viewers heard knocking. Valeria stood up. She opened it. Seconds later, gunshots exploded through the live stream. The camera fell. Screams flooded the chat. The feed cut out. By the time police arrived, Valeria was dead, shot multiple times at close range. Investigators believe the killer posed as a delivery worker to gain access. The most horrifying part? Thousands witnessed the final moments live. Clips spread rapidly across social media before platforms could remove them. TikTok scrambled to contain the footage, but it was already too late. The internet had archived it. The murder sparked national outrage in Mexico, highlighting the extreme vulnerability of live streamers, especially women, who broadcast their location in real time. Authorities launched a homicide investigation, treating the killing as targeted and premeditated. Viewers who watched the live stream later described feelings of guilt, shock, and trauma. They didn't just lose a creator. They watched a human life end without being able to stop it. Valeria never agreed to danger, but the next streamer did. He was paid by his viewers to destroy himself. Case 3. Sergio Jimenez, paid to die. How much would it take for strangers to convince you to drink yourself to death? Spanish streamer Sergio Jimenez was known for extreme content. His audience didn't just watch, they funded the chaos. The more reckless the challenge, the more money he earned. In 2025, during a live stream in Villanova y la Geltrú, Spain, viewers began offering cash for a brutal dare: drink an entire bottle of whiskey, then take drugs on camera. Sergio hesitated. Chat spammed donations. The pressure mounted. Finally, he agreed. What followed was slow, horrifying, and completely preventable. Viewers watched as Sergio consumed alcohol far beyond safe limits, washed down with narcotics. His speech slurred, his movement slowed. At one point, he collapsed, but chat assumed he was acting. Minutes turned into silence. By the time emergency services were alerted, Sergio was unresponsive. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Spanish authorities launched a rare investigation, not just into the death, but into whether viewers could be held responsible for encouraging lethal behavior with financial incentives. The case exposed a brutal truth about livestream culture. When danger becomes entertainment, death becomes clickable. Sergio was pushed by strangers. The next case, a man who pressed "Go live" and ended his life in front of the internet forever. Case 4, Ronnie McNutt, the suicide that would not die. Some live streams end when the camera cuts. This one never really ended because the internet refused to let it. On August 31st, 2020, Ronnie McNutt, a 33-year-old U.S. Army veteran from New Albany, Mississippi, went live on Facebook. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Ronnie sat calmly, speaking directly to the camera, but as minutes passed, his tone darkened. He spoke about heartbreak, loneliness, and a feeling that his life had already ended, even though he was still breathing. Viewers sensed something was wrong. Some begged him to stop. Others tried to comfort him. A few mocked him. Then Ronnie picked up a shotgun. Facebook Live did not cut the stream. No moderator intervened. No emergency stop triggered. Ronnie took his own life on camera. For those watching live, the horror was immediate, but the true damage came afterward. The video was clipped, downloaded, reposted, and shared across platforms: TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Discord. Even after Facebook removed the original stream, copies multiplied faster than they could be deleted. For months, users reported being shown the footage without warning, sometimes disguised as unrelated content. Families, teenagers, even children stumbled onto it. Ronnie's name became permanently tied to one of the most infamous live-streamed suicides in history. His family later spoke out, pleading for platforms to do better. Mental health advocates demanded stronger live moderation tools and faster intervention systems. The internet had witnessed a man's final moments and then turned them into content. Ronnie was alone in front of his camera. The next victim wasn't alone at all. She was arguing with the man who would kill her. Live. Case 5, Duchess Dior. Domestic violence on display. What happens when a private argument becomes public and then turns fatal? In 2025, lifestyle influencer Zaria Khadija Carr, known online as Duchess Dior, went live on Facebook from her home in Twin City, Georgia. Her content usually focused on beauty, relationships, and daily life. This stream was different. She was arguing with her husband. The tension was immediate. Voices raised, emotions raw. Viewers flooded the chat, urging calm, sensing the situation was spiraling. Some told her to end the stream. Others stayed, watching like it was reality TV. At some point, the live stream ended. Hours later, police were called to the residence. Zaria was found dead, shot multiple times. Her husband fled the scene, triggering a manhunt. When authorities located him later that day, he died by suicide. The live stream became crucial evidence, not because it showed the killing, but because it documented the emotional escalation beforehand. Investigators believe the public nature of the argument intensified the situation rather than diffusing it. Viewers later described feeling helpless. They had seen the warning signs, but couldn't intervene. The case sparked renewed conversations about domestic violence, public humiliation, and live streaming private conflicts. Critics argued that platforms normalize broadcasting emotionally volatile moments without safeguards, because once emotions turn explosive, a camera doesn't calm them down. Zaria's death unfolded after the stream ended. The next one, the warning signs were quieter and easier to miss. Case 6, Joshua Blackledge. Famous, young, and empty. What if success comes early, but the wait comes even faster? Joshua Blackledge was a teenage TikTok creator from North Carolina, best known for short, upbeat videos that gained hundreds of thousands of views. To his followers, he was living the dream. Attention, validation, growth. Behind the scenes, things were very different. In early 2025, Joshua was found dead by suicide in his home. He was still a minor. Friends later revealed that Joshua struggled intensely with pressure to perform, fear of losing relevance, and online harassment that never seemed to stop. Every post was judged. Every dip in views felt like failure. Unlike the previous cases, Joshua did not die on livestream, but his life was lived for one. His death reignited discussions about the mental health of young creators raised inside algorithm-driven validation loops. Experts warned that constant exposure to metrics, likes, comments, views, can distort self-worth, especially for adolescents. Fans flooded his accounts with comments after his death, many expressing regret for jokes, criticism, or pressure they hadn't realized mattered. The tragedy wasn't loud. There was no viral video, no shocking footage. Just silence. After a life lived too publicly, too young. Joshua's pain was invisible, but the next deaths? They were fueled by applause, alcohol, promise of easy money. Case 7. Brother Hao, drinking for donations. How many shots would it take before your audience stops cheering and starts panicking? In 2023, a Chinese live streamer known online as Brother Hao went live on Douyin, China's version of TikTok. His content wasn't complicated. He drank. The more he drank, the more viewers sent gifts. Each virtual gift converted to real money. That night, the challenge escalated quickly. Viewers began requesting harder alcohol, faster pacing, and punishment shots whenever donations hit certain targets. Brother Hao laughed it off. He was used to it. This wasn't his first drinking stream, but something was different. Bottle after bottle of Baijiu, a high-proof Chinese liquor, disappeared. His face flushed. His speech became slow and uneven. At one point, he slumped forward, knocking over his phone. Chat assumed he was joking. Some typed laughing emojis. Others demanded he keep going. The stream ended abruptly. The next day, Brother Hao was found dead. The cause? Acute alcohol poisoning. Authorities confirmed there was no foul play, but the public reaction was fierce. His death was not an accident. It was a foreseeable outcome of a system that financially incentivized excess. Chinese regulators stepped in quickly, announcing new restrictions on livestream drinking content. Several platforms banned alcohol-focused challenges outright, but for Brother Hao, the policy change came too late. Brother Hao drank himself to death for gifts, but he wasn't the only one. Another streamer tried to outdrink the algorithm and lost. Case 8. Bro 3000 Huang Ge. The cost of going viral. When the crowd gets bored, someone always pushes further. Huang Ge, better known as Bro 3000, was another Chinese live streamer chasing viral fame through extreme drinking challenges. Unlike casual social drinking, his streams were structured like competitions, time limits, bottle counts, escalating stakes. The formula worked. Views climbed. Gifts poured in. The pressure increased. In mid-2023, Huang went live for what viewers assumed was another routine session, but alcohol accumulated faster than usual. He consumed multiple bottles in a single sitting, visibly struggling to stay upright. At one point, he vomited on stream. Instead of stopping, chat urged him on. Moments later, the stream cut. Huang was later confirmed dead, again from alcohol poisoning. What shocked investigators was how predictable the trajectory had been. Huang had previously collapsed during warnings had been issued, but the money kept coming, and the audience kept rewarding excess. His death fueled public backlash against what critics called digital gladiator games, where creators are pushed to harm themselves for entertainment. For many viewers, the guilt set in later. They hadn't held the bottle, but they had paid for him to lift it. Alcohol wasn't the only killer. The next streamer didn't poison his liver. He poisoned his body with exhaustion. Case 9. Li Hao. 5 nights without sleep. How long can a human body stay awake before it simply shuts down? Li Hao was a gaming streamer from Zhengzhou, China, known for marathon live streams. His niche wasn't alcohol or shock. It was endurance. Long sessions, no breaks, no sleep. In late 2023, Li announced an extreme goal: 5 consecutive nights of all-night live streaming. The audience loved it. Each night, viewers tuned in to watch him grind through games, surviving on energy drinks and adrenaline. His eyes grew sunken. His reactions slowed, but the donations kept flowing. On the 5th night, Li ended his stream. He never went live again. The following day, he was found dead at home. Authorities cited suspected cardiac arrest linked to extreme exhaustion and sleep deprivation. Medical experts explained that prolonged sleep deprivation can cause fatal heart rhythm disturbances, immune collapse, and neurological failure. Li had unknowingly turned his body into a ticking clock. Unlike the drinking deaths, there was no visible collapse on stream, just a quiet ending and a fatal aftermath. Fans flooded his page with comments of shock and regret. Many admitted they had encouraged him to keep going, believing he would stop if it became dangerous. But livestream culture doesn't reward stopping. It rewards endurance. The audience always wanted more. And in the next part, we'll see what happens when obsession turns violent, and viewers don't just watch the danger, they become it. Case 10. Thanakarn Kanthi. Alcohol Challenge Tragedy. Some live streams are games, and some are literal bets with death. In 2025, Thai influencer Thanakarn Kanthi went live from Chanthaburi Province, Thailand, for a viral alcohol challenge. The premise was simple but dangerous. Drink a massive bottle of whiskey while viewers timed and cheered. Unlike casual drinking content, this was a paid challenge. Every donation encouraged him to push further. The more he drank, the more his audience rewarded him. The live stream started normally, with Thanakarn joking and laughing, but the effects of rapid alcohol consumption became apparent quickly. Speech slurred, balance lost, body trembling. Chat continued to push, sending messages like "faster" and "finish it," often accompanied by monetary gifts. By the end of the stream, Thanakarn collapsed. Emergency services were called immediately, but the combination of alcohol poisoning and prolonged intoxication proved fatal. He did not survive. The death sparked outrage in Thailand, prompting authorities to enforce stricter live streaming regulations. Platforms were reminded that encouraging or rewarding dangerous behavior could have deadly consequences. Thanakarn's death was a warning about the price of digital applause, but the next story shows that the audience isn't always pushing for self-destruction. Sometimes they're watching violence erupt in real time. Case 11. Eri Sato. Stabbed on stream. Imagine a fan who isn't loyal, but lethal. In 2025, Japanese streamer Eri Sato was walking outdoors while live streaming from Tokyo. She was an IRL, in real life, content creator, sharing daily routines, travel, and personal insights with thousands of viewers. Everything seemed normal until a man appeared. He approached her while she broadcast live, uninvited and unrecognized. Viewers noticed shadows in the background, messages warning, "Be careful," scrolling quickly. Then it happened. Eri was stabbed on camera. The attack lasted seconds, but the live stream immortalized it. Viewers screamed in chat, desperate desperately trying to alert authorities. Some even called police mid-broadcast. By the time help arrived, Ari had succumbed to her injuries. The event became international news. It was a stark demonstration of a terrifying reality. Live streams make creators physically visible to everyone, including those with malicious intent. Ari's story shows the physical risks of being online. Next, we travel to South Korea, where a similar threat came from a fan who gave gifts and took a life. Case 12. Yoon Jia, the obsessed viewer. When admiration turns into obsession, the camera can't protect you. In 2025, South Korean TikTok creator Yoon Jia was murdered shortly after a live stream. Unlike other cases, she wasn't performing stunts or drinking. She was simply creating content, interacting with fans, answering questions, sharing her day. One longtime donor became dangerously obsessed. He had sent gifts worth tens of thousands of won and expected more attention in return. When his demands went unanswered, his obsession escalated. Authorities later confirmed he stalked her home and confronted her in person. The confrontation turned deadly, and Yoon was killed. The tragedy highlighted an alarming pattern in influencer culture. Gifts and donations can blur boundaries between creator and fan. Financial support sometimes empowers predatory behavior, and live streams make personal locations vulnerable. Fans can be dangerous, but even a school setting isn't immune. Next, a chilling Swedish case shows how live streams can capture violent acts in real time, even when not targeting a professional streamer. Case 13. Eslöv school stabbing. Violence captured live. Not all live streams are about fame. Sometimes they capture tragedy where you least expect it. In 2021, a student in Eslöv, Sweden, brought a knife to school. What made the event particularly alarming wasn't just the act, it was that a live stream captured the attack in real time. While the victim survived, the broadcast spread across social media before authorities could intervene. Though the students weren't professional creators, the live stream showed the immediate dangers of unmoderated platforms. It also highlighted how violence, even in private or semi-private settings, can become viral if recorded and broadcast in real time. The incident sparked debates about platform responsibility, school policies, and the role of live streaming in spreading violent content. Not all deaths are immediate, but the next few cases will remind us that even seemingly safe streaming can end in quiet tragedy, from suicide or unseen pressures. Case 14. Emin Atienza, silent pressures of fame. What if the world sees only your smile, but the camera hides your pain? In 2025, Emin Atienza, a 19-year-old influencer operating between the Philippines and the United States, had built a sizable following on TikTok. Known for her upbeat personality and motivational videos, she seemed to have it all: views, fans, and online recognition. Behind the screen, however, Emin battled anxiety, exhaustion, and the relentless demand to stay relevant. Every post needed to be perfect. Every video had to hit trending. The pressure was constant, unrelenting, and public. Her final post wasn't dramatic. No shocking stunt, no alcohol, no challenge, no visible danger. Just a TikTok uploaded quietly hours before she was found dead by Sue at home. Her death shocked fans and fellow creators. Comments in. People they had judged her posts, criticized minor mistakes, or themes they didn't realize were causing stress. The online applause she had once thrived on had become an unseen weight. Mental health experts highlighted an issue. Young influencers often live in algorithms where attention replaces validation and metrics become self-worth. Emin's passing became a stark example of how dangerous this can be, even for creators who appear happy on camera. Emin's struggle was invisible. The next story, his heart literally gave out while his audience mourned before he left the stream behind. Case 15. John Crawley, heartbreak behind the lens. Fame can be addictive, but it can also kill. John Crawley, a US-based TikTok comedian and content creator, was beloved for his comedic sketches and relatable content. He had amassed hundreds of thousands of followers who tuned in daily to watch him joke, improvise, and entertain. In 2025, during a casual session of recording at home, John suffered sudden cardiac arrest. Unlike previous livestream death, there were no dares, no alcohol, no stunts, just a young man's body giving out unexpectedly. His audience watched in disbelief as emergency responders arrived. Despite their efforts, John passed away. Clips of his last moments circulated online before being removed, leaving a haunting digital footprint. The tragedy prompted discussions on the stress and physical toll of content creation, even when it seems harmless. Late nights, irregular schedules, and constant pressure to perform can have profound health consequences, sometimes fatal. Fans mourned worldwide, flooding social media with tributes. Unlike some other cases, John's death was sudden, unpredictable, and a reminder that not all online tragedy is caused by external forces. Sometimes the body simply can't keep up with the demands of digital life. Stress and obsession claimed John quietly. From explicit danger to subtle pressure, from alcohol to obsession, from sudden collapse to quiet despair, this is the full spectrum of the worst streamer deaths the internet has ever witnessed. Tonight, we've seen it all. Creators pushed to extremes for money, followers, or fame. We've seen violence erupt in front of thousands. We've seen the quiet quiet weight of expectation crush young souls. Live streaming can be thrilling, rewarding, and inspiring, but it can also be dangerous, unpredictable, and deadly. If these stories teach us anything, it's that behind every camera, behind every screen, there's a human being. Someone who deserves protection, compassion, and safety, not just likes and donations. Thank you for watching The Final Cry. If this video resonated with you, or even unsettled you in a meaningful way, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for more chilling, true life content, hit the bell to get notified when we upload new stories, and remember, the internet watches, but sometimes it needs to look out for those in front of the camera. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and until next time, this is The Final Cry.